So here we have Rin's legs, and I'm trying out this lighter gray color. I was having a little bit of issue choosing between the shades of gray that I have, but I settled with true gray. So starting off at the bottom is yellow, and then this is white right here. And then I try to like squeeze in all the colors of her boot. That way there's like enough leg room for the shorts. I also made the shorts separately and attached those on. And yeah, this is what it looks like. This is skin color right here. Next we'll be making the shirt, so that's also going to be white. Guys, welcome back to another update on Rin. So I added on the pants and I did the shirt right here. And the rest is pretty much on skin. I gave her the peacock colored eyes, which are like pretty much blue eyes. And then black rounded eyelids. Be back with the next update. Welcome back to the second to last update and what I did for the body. So for all the little accessories, I started off by putting this little collar right here. It's true gray. And I sewed on yellow around it. It's very similar to the Sailor Moon collar, so that's kind of like what I really refer back to when I say collar. So I placed both sides along the neck area, and then I went ahead and pinned them down on each side. After that, I took the glue, the fabric glue, and then I glued them down in like a V shape. And then I created this little yellow ribbon, which I placed on the center of it. Glued that on there as well. There's actually another layer was what I call the collar cover, and I simply just chained 3 of white because she has like this little layer in between the collar. Even though that's not really necessary, but I went ahead and did that anyways. I just kind of took my broken felt tip needle and then I just kind of like stabbed it right on there. And then after that I placed everything down and glued everything on. And then of course there's this also little badge right here which I just sewed on right next to the arm. Then I took yellow yarn and I chained it and then simply created this little belt on the front right here. Before I added on the belt, I created the little belt loop that she wears along the sides of her short. It actually wraps around all the way to the back side, but I kind of didn't realize that the first time. And after I realized that, I went ahead and I took it out and then I used my broken felt tip needle and then I just kind of like shoved it in the back pocket on the other side. And then I just simply sewed on the yellow belt. And then after that, I took my true gray yarn and then I created these little belt loops. I did chain 3 for that and then I glued them on and used my broken felt tip needle, which also inserted into the pants. And it gives you this illusion that she's wearing shorts. So that's really cool. I made 6 belt loops. So I have like 2 on the front, 2 on each side, and then 2 that are closely placed together on the back side. And then I didn't include this in the beginning, but I took my Yarn Beast Silver and I simply created the little belt buckle along the front side. It's a really minor detail, but I figured she should have the belt buckle since I usually add that for my dolls. And so yeah, this is the finished look for the body. There it is. Okay, this doesn't really belong on here, so I'm just gonna take that out. I was leaving that there to dry. And there you have it, the back side. I love the Vocaloid character designs. The outfit looks really cool. And then I'm starting off with the hair right now. The beginning part, creating the front parts of her bang. Still trying to figure out this side, but I'm using 4 inner rounds, 4 outer rounds for the hair cap. And I'll be right back for the final update. Hi guys, welcome back to the final update for Rin. This took me like 3 days to finish. At least today's the 3rd day and I'm finally done with the doll. So starting off with her hair, we're gonna point out the big elephant in the room, which are the bows. I created 2 little pieces using white yarn and then I simply sewed them together to create this kind of bow. And I feel like it's a little bit big on her head, but I didn't really want to end up redoing it, so I just kept the first attempt. So yeah, it looks gigantic on her head, but hopefully that's okay. I mean, I could probably wear this as like an accessory on my own head. And I also gave like this little strip right here of the white headband. I didn't attach on the little headphone piece because I didn't do that for Miku either. So I decided to left that out and just left the accessory, which is the headband for her. And so starting off with the hair on the front, we have like the bangs, the yellow bangs. Her hair is all yellow. And I also gave her some white hair clips too. But first off, this is right here. We have on the side a 12 chain. Here are 2 other 12 chains right here. And then I have 1 more 12 chain on this side. The top part right here is filled up with an 8 chain. Here's another 8 chain. We have an 8 chain over here. And then after that, filled up the bottom part with 8 chains. I left some hair strands poking out because her hair really does flare out at the bottom part. And it shows like on the front side, kind of like this. Which you can like just adjust and move the hair into place because it does kind of move around. And that's how I got the shape. After that, I went back and filled up everything with 8 chains. So yeah, that's what all that looks like. Here's the back side of the bow. Here. Looks gigantic. And I just simply like glued down the bow. It's not really secured, but if it were to fall off, I would just glue it back on again. And yeah, and I kind of bent the bow into place too. So that's how I kind of got this little cornered shape right here. And so far, I really like how it turned out. For the hair clips, they're just 4 white chains, which I simply just took my broken felt tip needle and then I started off along the forehead and I just kind of like stuffed the yarn inside of there. Once I did that for the bottom of each hair clip, I went back and then I put the glue along the chains, and then I did the same thing on the other side where I just kind of like poked in the yarn inside of the head, and that's pretty much how the hair clip stays in place. And so yeah, this is the final look for the doll. I like how it turned out. I think it turned out like her. I know this video is such long overdue. It's been requested for a while now, and I finally got into another Vocaloid character since like 2020. And next off, we'll be making Len. So hopefully I'm saying their names right. I hope those are their names. I'm not really like a big Vocaloid fan or anything, but I do like the aesthetic. So yeah, moving on to the next doll. Hey guys, welcome back to another update. So here are the legs, about to join them. And then here are some of the pieces that I made in advance for the outfit. This is the pants. It looks like a bumblebee, and I pretty much just changed colors between black and yellow. I'm not sure if I really like how this pant turned out, but he does have 2 gold or yellow rounds along the bottom of the shorts, and I just pretty much made it on 1 row, the entire row. Probably should have made it black right here, but kind of late for that. Here are the 2 arms. So the arms are very much like Miku's, the colors, except it's yellow, and yeah, very plain simplified. Here is the collar, so same thing as Rin, but in black. And then I sewed on the yellow part. That's what it looks like. It's gonna go on. This is the color for the eyes, and the safety eyes are in there. So yeah, I'll be back with the next update. Guys, welcome back to a quick update on Len. So here are his bumblebee pants and the little boots. The bottom is pretty much the exact same as Rin, and the pants are just a little bit different, as I explained earlier. And then he has a white shirt and all skin and currently bald on the top part. The eyes are the same. Here's the back side. There you go. I'll be back with the next update. Welcome back to the second to last update. So here's everything that I did for the body. I attached on the arms, and then after that, I created the collar, and then I simply glued on this little tie over it. Also added this little badge right here. And then for the bottom of the shirt, I did a little bit differently. I haven't done it like this before, but I created 2 pieces for the white part. So it kind of lifts up like this. And what I did was simply just sewed it on. So here's the first front layer of the bottom of the shirt, and this is also where the little belt loop, I simply just took my broken felt tip needle and then I also stabbed it on this side. So his belt loop is on the other side, the opposite of her, and the back side did the exact same thing for the shirt. Also sewed it on this side. From several of the references photo, I noticed that like his shirt is actually like split open on the sides, which is why I had to create 2 separate pieces, and I simply sewed them on. Thank goodness I didn't glue it down because I actually attached this on beforehand before I even added on this little loop right here. There you go. Very nice and simple. Now I'm currently doing the hair. I got like 2 8 chains on the side right here. These are a 12 chain 2 together, and then I got like an 8 chain right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up his hair. It should be simple, so be back with the final update. Hi guys, welcome back to the final update for Len and his hair. So really quickly, I'm gonna start off with the front part. So this is an 8 chain. I got 2 8 chains over here. These 2 strands right here are 12 chains 2 together. And then I have these 2 strands on both sides. It's like pretty much symmetrical, which are both 8 chain 2 together. I created 2 pieces on this side. So here's what that looks like, just kind of like stacked on top of each other. They're halfway glued down. And then so is this part here. The same thing with the other side. This top chain right here is a 10 chain 2 together. So I am finally using some of the other strands in my hair pattern. Some of them are used more frequently than others. Here's an example of how I used several different hair strands on my dolls. So yeah, that's what that looks like. And gotta mention these headphones because before I wasn't adding headphones onto my Vocaloid dolls, but I figured since he has enough room, I would give him his headphones, and that's kind of what I did. It's kind of wonky, but like it gets like the details on, which I think you can tell what they are. Otherwise, he would just be wearing a headband, which I don't think looks as cool. So I decided to give him his headphones, and I used white for that. this other yarn that I decided to throw in, Graybeard, which the list of all the yarns I'm using is going to be in the link on my Ko-fi page for the doll notes, so I won't be like repeating myself because sometimes I make these little changes, so all the final stuff is going to be in the notes, which is in the Ko-fi link description down below. Here is the backside. I also finally used this strand. Haven't used this strand in forever since I made like, I don't know, my Miku doll or my Teto doll. It's the little 2 triangles, which I attached to the back because he has some hair strands that are along the bottom part. So I went ahead and did that. So for his ponytail, they're at the top. So here's what that looks like. This strand is a 8-chain 2 together. I simply created that, folded it in half, and then I created the little white hair tie, which I pretty much put it together and then I just glued on top. So here is like the first inner ring. It goes on like the second. For his hair cap, I use 4 inner rounds, 3 outer rounds, and the same thing is pretty much on the other side for the headphones as well, or like the earmuffs. And yeah, this is what he looks like so far, and I think it looks really cool. So here's Rin again, and I also did the same thing. I decided to give her the headphones this time, the earmuffs. So there's one on that side. And then here is the other side, which I think looks really good. They finally are wearing the accessories they need. I just didn't add the mic part because that's a little bit hard to do and I didn't think it was necessary to add it on, so I left that off. But otherwise, they pretty much have all their main pieces. The outfit is simplified and I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So there you go, showing you my height comparison of my newer dolls and my older dolls. Yeah, the older dolls have a lot of tighter tension. They're slightly shorter than the newer ones and they look kind of smaller as well. Otherwise, the Vocaloids look pretty cute though, I think. And yeah, somebody requested to see Len and Rin. There you go, this is how I created them. What do you guys think? Let me know if there are other characters you want me to make. As usual, if you want to know how to create your own anime style hair, links to my Ninki hair tutorial pattern in the description box below, as well as my other base bodies all down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out my Ko-fi page. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!